Hi, welcome back. Angela here again. So today I want to talk to you about angry women syndrome. Have you ever heard of it? So how to find out if it affects you. Do you find yourself feeling unusually irritable or angry? And are you struggling to understand why certain situations trigger you with such intense emotions? So angry women syndrome isn't just about occasional frustration. It's a term used to describe intense anger that can affect your relationships and your well-being as well. So understanding the root causes can help you manage these situations more effectively. So many people don't even realise that chronic anger can be linked to deeper issues such as hormonal imbalances, which I've mentioned a few times in some of the videos I've done, stress and unresolved trauma as well. Talking about the hormonal side, being a woman, when you are premenstrual, you can be very angry. There can be hormonal imbalances that can just set you off. There can be situations that set you off, and it can be stress, and it also can be unresolved trauma as well. And as much as you can do work on yourself, there's still times when you're going to get angry, and that is okay. Anger is an emotion and it does need to be expressed. So I'm not saying that all anger is bad, but if it's affecting your life and it's causing you issues, then it's a problem that you might need to start looking at. And that's why angry women syndrome is a thing. So emphasize the importance of recognizing the triggers as well, to address and manage your anger healthily, rather than obviously letting it out and it getting you into trouble. So ignore it. What happens when you ignore these sort of patterns of anger? So it can lead to strained relationships, increased stress. If you drink, it can also make you act out as well when you're drinking, which isn't ideal because that's probably not actually what you're really like, but that could accentuate your anger as well. And it can even give you physical health problems as well, like higher blood pressure and things like that. So there's a lot of physical symptoms as well as emotional things that can happen as well. So without addressing the actual root cause, which again, different for everybody, anger, it can negatively impact you, and it can affect every aspect of your life. So what are some strategies that you can use? So understand what the situations trigger your anger. So is it to do with, somebody cutting you off in traffic, for example? Is it people that don't have their dogs on a lead? Mentioned this before, that come up to my dog. That makes me angry. Keeping a journal, and that can help you recognize the patterns and see where the underlying issues are. So if there's something specifically that keeps coming up that's causing you problems, then keeping a journal on this can try and help you, particularly if you're working with somebody professional as well. If there's something you get angry at everything, it's probably not everything. Keeping a diary on all of the things that are going on in your life at the time. So, your work, your sleep, your exercise, what are you eating? Food has a massive part to do with your emotions as well. So keeping a diary, if this anger or angry women syndrome, as this has been termed, is something that is affecting you, then keeping a diary on what things trigger you can help if you're working with somebody, or even you can work it out for yourself. Consulting with a therapist if you can't get over this is obviously a way that somebody can help guide you, basically, and help try and point things out, particularly if you've kept a diary on it as well. So they can give you valuable tools for coping, practicing stress management. So like yoga, meditation. I like Pilates. That's my sort of form of gives me sort of an outlet, and is something enjoyable that I do. So that's sort of a certain kind of practice, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like going out for a run if you hate running, or it's finding something that reduces your stress that you enjoy doing. So and if you need to experiment with that, then do it. You go and try different things that you've not tried before. If you're keeping the journal on it and you're actually learning what your triggers are, and then directing them somewhere else, that can really help as well. So addressing the underlying issues. So if there's something a lot deeper that you're coming up with when you're journaling, it could be to do with past traumas and things that can trigger you from that. And that's not something that can just be Pilates away. You need to seek professional help for that. You need to speak to somebody, and it needs to be in a healthy environment and with somebody that can actually help you, that is trained in that area as well. So if that's something that you're struggling with and you you have a journal and you kind of think you know what it is, and but you need the extra help with it, then take it to a therapist or somebody that you trust, and then they can help you work back through that and get to your root cause. Learning to healthily communicate as well. So if you get angry outbursts at, say, your loved ones, for example. So if you're struggling with your children and you find yourself, having outbursts, and I mean, I do. I can have an argument with my daughter's 22, and but we have healthy ways of resolving our issues. So I might have an angry. She hasn't done, I don't know, tidied her room up, say, for example. She's 22. So say that something like that's annoying me, that she hasn't kept her room tidy. I might just be like, can you tidy your room up? And then she's gone out again, not done it. And realistically, it's her room, it's her space, right? So if she wants to leave it in a mess, that's entirely up to her. So it's things like that, and coming to realise that, why am I getting angry about the state of my daughter's bedroom when I can just close the door? It's really sort of getting to the root cause of that. Is that because people used to get angry with me when I was younger, so therefore now I think I should be getting angry? It's kind of coming to those sort of realisations as well, and knowing that not everything you do is necessarily something that you would do naturally. It might be learned behaviour, but it's having the self-awareness to realise that, and learning some healthy communication as well. But obviously that's different for everyone. You might have sort of different examples. It might be at work. I mean, you might be somebody that gets really angry with people at work. I know that I used to get very frustrated with people that that weren't able to communicate very well at work. So people that would rather ignore you than actually pick up the phone and have conversations. I'm a direct communicator, so other people wouldn't necessarily get either. It's kind of understanding where other people are at and then where you're at as well, and then kind of being able to differentiate and know, that other people don't communicate in the same way as you, and it could make you angry, and it's something that maybe you need to work on rather than anyone else needs to work on. So it's having that self-awareness, and also having a healthy lifestyle. Say if you drink all the time and you're hungover and you're tired, you're not getting enough sleep, you're eating really rubbish food, that really impacts whether or not your mood. So you could just simply be getting angry because you went out drinking last night, had a Big Mac for breakfast, and then you're wondering why your stress levels are up, because the food that you've put into your body is not the kind of nourishing food that leads you to have a balanced, balanced outset. So there's a lot more that I could go into here. I won't ramble on now because this is just about angry women syndrome. There's a lot of factors that go into what could make you angry, and it's all individual. Okay, and it can be to do with diet, it can be to do with hormones, and it can be sometimes just to do with people just generally being stupid, So I'm not just saying that you shouldn't get angry, because angry is a valid emotion as well. So don't just think that you should never be angry ever, because that's just simply just not doable. So it's more than just angry women syndrome, as it's coined, is more than just frustration. Okay, it's a pattern of intense anger that can significantly impact your life. So if this is something that is more than, you're constantly arguing with your child, you're constantly arguing with your partner, and you just cannot seem to calm down, and maybe if you've tried the healthy eating, you're exercising, you think you've dialed in everything, then maybe you need to look for further help, and maybe you need to speak to somebody else. It doesn't have to be a therapist, it can be a friend, it can be going to a support group maybe, or just or just trying out something new and meeting some new people, and gaining a different perspective on life. That can help as well. So, and just taking sort of some more steps towards being more calm and removing some of the triggers as well. Perhaps not the child, don't remove the child, but removing some of the triggers. So and learning to know what things are really important and what aren't, and being able to move forward from there. And it really is about self-awareness as well. So just something for you to think about. And if you have any comments that you'd like to add, please do. And my inbox is always open. And as ever, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to catching you in the next one. Thank you.